We've got Joel from Heidi Build. We've got Hoppo from Hoppo Construction again. We've got Hamish from Hamish. Matt from Matt. And there's no plan. There's no. Three of us have notepads. I don't know why, because there's no script for this one.
All I've written down here is Joel and Hoppo.
Yeah, so that's about it. There's the plan.
It's aesthetics. So what have we most influenced you, like, singly? What have we most... what would you put us down to? Like, all right, I think of Hoppo, or I think of Joel, I think of what?
Confidence.
I think this is a really good question, because I think it's good feedback for you guys too. When I watch your stuff, I find it really what am I trying to say? It's approachable, because you're just normal guys. Like there's no fuss, there's no...
You have an opinion.
Like, but both of you don't try to be anything other than who you are.
It's too hard.
And I think, you're there with your tats and your hats and your controversial T-shirts and shit. You're there just talking about whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
You're there with no filter. That's over here with sore knuckles.
And it's just, I think it's just awesome. And I think the fact that you guys have like skyrocketed over the past few years, because I've known you for a long time, and
you've just popped out of you've grown real fast, though, haven't you?
Oh, so, yeah. I think it's sort of... I tried so hard to grow my Instagram when I was doing what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Doing like architectural builds and work.
Yeah.
I tried so fucking hard. I spent money, I curated images, and it fucking went nowhere. And when I said, fuck this, I'm so over this. And then I think I actually posted a massive rant about timber quality.
Yes,
like,
that was the one. The mold.
That was how I first come across you.
The mold. Yeah, that's how I come. It was during COVID, wasn't it?
And then I was like,
it was a bit after it.
My original thought was he's got the same last name as Andre. That was literally, I didn't even put two and two together.
Yeah, right.
Well, they look the same.
I know, but I didn't.
Do you reckon?
But I wasn't watching it, checking Joel out to see what he looked like. I was more watching the content.
Andre has,
it's okay if you want.
We'll talk later.
Andre has more grey in his beard.
He does.
A lot more grey in his beard.
He should. He's fucking 13 years older than me.
Is he really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the youngest by 13 years. Andre's number 4. Brendan, who's the oldest, is also at Bink. He's the first. Yeah, and then there's another 2 in between them. So there's 5 boys.
The singer.
The singer is number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to meet the singer.
Man, you do want to meet him.
I do want to meet him.
Yeah.
So I think the good thing about the content you produce, it's relatable, but you're opinionated. But it's also, I think when I said confidence earlier, it gives you confidence to create something yourself. It's not like up on your high horse, I'm this. Like you're approachable.
Yeah. These are normal dudes. Yeah. Hey, there's no reason why we couldn't do the same.
We fuck up every day.
There's also an element of almost non-bias, but bias as well. But you also take the piss out of yourselves. Like, you guys are all in DeWalt now, because I've Semiac, you got Semi Atkins on.
Yeah.
You're in
Are you guys sponsored by DeWalt?
Yeah. Can you tell?
Not today.
I'm layered. I'm layered.
You got little DeWalt undies on.
It's not contrived. It doesn't feel forced. It's just like you using the tools. Like you could get someone who is sponsored by something and it's all about, and now we're using DeWalt. But it's a very natural way of like selling it, which I think works really well.
Yeah.
And great for DeWalt.
Well, them getting across as well was not pushed whatsoever. It was like, hey, we know you guys are stubborn. Like, and I've been ingrained in Makita for 20 years.
Yeah, because you have always had Makita.
Yeah.
Staunch Makita.
Yeah, always. And they just said like, hey, we know you're a stubborn bastard. We're not going to try and push it because we know there'll be pushback.
Yeah.
Here's a couple of tools. You've seen Joel using the stuff. He vouched for it. Like, just let us know what you think. They're yours. No obligations.
Now, I just want to go on the record saying I am not sponsored at all by DeWalt, but Joel was very gracious in giving me a matter drill. You probably still haven't ever.
The only tool I have.
Yeah.
Have you used it?
No. My team have.
I
was like, how does this thing work?
I was building this alfresco at my joint, red ironbark. It's like super thick, super heavy, dense timber. And I'm like, my fucking Makita drill, I burnt it out. And I'm like, I've got that fucking drill that Joel gave me. I went and got it. Holy shit.
Wow. Yeah, it eats, mate.
Wow. Like just butter straight through. I'm like, okay, well, now I know what.
Drill bit too.
I tried to be in denial when I started using it because I had my full Makita Max Track set up here to open it up, and there's just...
Oh, you sat on yours for a bit. I remember you telling me.
I didn't use the saw for ages because everyone raved about the 54-volt saw, and I thought, if I use that, I know I'm converted and I'm not ready to be proven wrong yet. And I would open up my Makita stuff and pick out the 2 DeWalt drills every day first. And I was like, fuck.
Well, I tell you what, if there's anyone from DeWalt listening, Sanctum Homes is happy to convert to DeWalt if you come to the party.
Oh, mate.
They do-
They'll
You
go
know
on the
that
bar.
now that you said that, that's going to happen.
I will paint Sanctum Homes yellow and black.
Change
and
the
get rid of
logo.
everything.
It's, you know,
I'll
it's-
change the logo. I'll change the logo.
with them, they want to be the best.
Yeah.
They want to do what they can, and they don't want to try and. They come to us for who we are. They don't come on board. Or this is what we want you to be. We love what you're doing. We approached you because we like the way you're doing it, and they'll often we have some pretty outrageous ideas, as you can imagine.
No.
And we sort of like dwell
There's some
on,
good shit. There's some good shit coming up.
Can we talk a little about some of that? Like, what's the craziest ideas without giving too much away?
One that didn't quite get approved was when they came on board. I was like, all right, I've got this fucking idea, right? I'm like, what we'll do is, I need a DeWalt van.
Oh yes, this is
Right? I'm like, what I'm going to do is, Hoppo's going to be walking down the street, and I'm going to run out and grab him, throw him in the van.
like full abduction.
Yeah. And I'm like, and then I'll do it to Sammy as well, and then they'll just walk out all fully kitted up.
Yeah, we get dragged
And,
in the van,
and they're like,
then we walk
that's a
out
great
there.
idea. They're like, but don't think we can do it.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, look, they're a fucking worldwide organisation.
If it was in America, they'd probably
they're actually pretty.
That'd be like boring.
They're pretty good with us. Like they allow us to get away. Oh, should have put my fucking phone on. So.
Mr. Media over there.
The Jackie
Oh, that's
Falgate,
just
is it?
a 3AW. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so they do let us get away with quite a lot. But even when I started with them, I wasn't interested really in DeWalt because I was pretty staunch Milwaukee.
Oh, right.
And yeah, but a mate of mine works at Stanley Black & Decker, owns DeWalt, and he's like, look, just come in. I said, all right. I tried it out, and I was like, fuck, actually, that's really, really impressive. And they're like, here you go, just take it, no obligation. I was like, all right. And I didn't want to like it, because I was always sending DeWalt jokes to like guy mates that had DeWalt.
That's just what we do. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And I just ended up going, fuck, these are really good. And it just became really obvious that they were serious about taking that spot back, like being the dominant player.
Because if I think about it, and maybe it's just because you guys just fucking swamp my feed all the time, that I'm just seeing DeWalt everywhere. I don't see anyone rocking Makita.
So Makita are really bad with their marketing.
Who are the Makita influencers?
They don't.
I mean, equally Makita. If you
You're really triggering Hoppo now.
But I'm going to say right now is they actually don't.
No, they're trying to now because and my slogan is this year's you fucking snooze, you lose. And that's what's happened.
Makita jumped on.
We're going to be decked out in Makita.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because there's a line in the middle of the table here. We can take the Makita.
They've tried to push it, but they don't see the value in creators. And apparently it all comes back from Japan, but they don't see the value in it. We've got this name from 40 years ago, which I'm like, wow. And DeWalt are like, fucking, all right, here we go.
Sweet, let's send it.
We value, and that's the thing with DeWalt is like we don't get paid. A lot of people think we get paid. We don't get paid.
Yeah, but you know what? You've
get
probably
the fun.
got $30,000 or $40,000
Yeah,
worth of tools.
but also we already had $30,000 or $40,000 worth of tools that worked fine. So people say to
That's a
me,
really good point. You already had
they
it.
go, oh, well, they gave you all these tools. I was like, yeah, it's almost an inconvenience now. Like we've got
you
so
poor thing.
much. I know, right?
I didn't
know.
fucking say that.
No, like,
Joe's like, where's the bin?
I am not inconvenienced by this at all.
What's the point of it then? What do you get out of it?
experience.
It's you know what? It's the tools, but then it's all the other stuff that goes with it.
Opportunities,
There's like
networking.
they're actually like they're this really big company, but
Doesn't feel
the
like
people that you talk to are just normal dudes, normal chicks, normal people that are like so appreciative of you. Like when I'll walk into DeWalt and it's like you're a celebrity because they all obviously follow us because we're DeWalt influencers, and they're like, "Oh, Joel, I saw your thing. Or how's your daughter's go kart thing?"
So valued.
They're always
Brilliant.
amped at work.
Yeah.
But do you think that's because they work in a commercial environment, so they're feeling normal, actually hanging out with normal people? So it's actually the flip side.
No, I reckon like they
They're
do
so
like these
passionate about what they do. Yeah.
and they do these forums for their own staff. So they have like these big activations where they'll have all their tools all set up in like marquees, and then they'll actually educate all the different teams on the different tools.
Yeah, okay.
So I did one. It was like in the eastern suburbs somewhere, and then we did another one. Me and Hoppo did one where they just wanted real feedback from tradesmen.
We're out in front of probably 60 people, and they sit there and they just honestly they value our opinion. So you go there and they genuinely want to. All right, you don't like this, they want it. to just say it exactly how it is. We want to know what's happening, and we just got full support. We're like, I really need this tool for this job this week. And like, bang, the next day it's there. No questions asked. Like it's, hey, my dad needs something. Yeah, cool. What do you need?
I reckon because of the deal with DeWalt, or because of the support that we get, that's sort of enabled me to lean into the content a bit more. Otherwise, I'd be like, I'm fucking wasting my time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I asked Hoppo this earlier on, and he said that financially he's getting 50% of kickbacks from all the stuff that he's doing for the brands and stuff. What is it for you guys? Do you get?
I'm nowhere near that.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean, I've got my business, is trucking along really nicely nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's doing its own thing, and it's really doing well. This is honestly a creative outlet for me.
Yeah.
Does it bring in work at all? Do you get clients calling you because?
No,
they've
but
seen
I
you?
think like supervisors and stuff that I work for, they're all tradesmen too. So whatever's in their algorithm, man, I'm in their algorithm. So I'm probably just more front and center for them. So maybe there's probably guys that I couldn't create a relationship with early days that it's helped to create the relationship, because they're like, oh yeah, I know fucking.
Because they've got a
Do you
parasocial
think
relationship
that
with you.
helps with like your quick tradie eats and stuff like that, because you can. It's something that everyone can relate to. Like they might see you and go like, I don't know how to build these windows. I don't know much about that, but hey, I know a good burger joint down the road. I know I can spark that with Joel. That's a point of communication now that we've got.
Yeah. Like I think, like doing the quick tradie eats, even all that sort of little stuff. I'm just trying to kind of dispel the misconceptions around tradesmen. Like I think there's a shitload of misconceptions around being a tradesperson.
This is good. What are they?
Well, first of all, that we eat fucking meat pies and big M's, like that's 30 years ago, right?
If I come on as a influencer for DeWalt, do I need a nose ring?
Yeah, you do. We've got a piercing studio actually.
Joel's joint. 16 gauge.
So diet aside, like I think, because I think it's a really good conversation.
I'd do a nose ring for it. Probably little. I wouldn't go ring, but I'd go skull a stud, I reckon.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
It'd suit
Really cute.
It'd be great to walk into Pilates with your little snow.
You like I'm happy to talk about that.
Let's do
I had
it.
a great session of Pilates last night. So the context is, sorry, Matt. I talked to Joel last night, and he goes, "Man, I've got a quick, just a couple of quick minutes of your time. I've been asked to go on some fucking radio station. I want to know if it's clashing with your podcast recording tomorrow." I'm like, "Fuck off, wanker." I've only got a couple of minutes, and I'm about to go into Pilates, and Joel's like, "Man, we are living the most polar opposite lives right now. I'm in my shed drinking beer, working on my daughter's go-kart, cooking up Italian sausages, and you're wearing Lycra about to go into Pilates." I'm like,
after getting a pedicure.
absolutely. What do you think?
There's builders and then there's builders.
Exactly.
So I want to go back to this misconception tradies. I think it's a really good actual topic we can discuss. We've got to have something. The diet part, I think's crap. Like, I don't see many meat pies. Maybe on a Friday and they go pick up a box of KFC or something.
Yeah.
But like, I think there's my biggest misconception on tradies that they're dumb. That's
Hey, wait, just on that. Have you ever seen Simon's diet? Old mate up in Mr.
Simon
Survivor?
Me.
Man, he's like flat out KFC, isn't he?
He
And
does
he's got a
every
ring.
Tuesday. He's got his thing. Yeah.
No,
And
but
he says-
he's fucking ripped ass.
Yeah.
He'd
Says,
only
you know-
ever, if he ate that, it's on camera, I reckon.
I
Every
see
other time.
Rick-
other
He
than-
spits it out after it.
Yeah.
I speak to Simo pretty much every day.
He's a good dude too.
He's but he reckons he doesn't go to the gym. I want to go to the gym that he's not going to. It is ridiculous.
surely.
Ridiculous.
He's just one of those really infuriating people. That
Is he
just has a
jamming
ring.
trend like flats in the
Yeah,
end?
there's
Or what's
something
going on
like
there?
that.
Like, there's got to be.
Something's going on.
That's not genetics.
No, but he doesn't.
Can't be.
He doesn't talk about his food other than that.
Nah,
He's,
other than KFC.
as
for the
when
rest
he
of
went
the
on
week.
Survivor, because I knew there was a. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Anyway, it's on there now.
He's on Survivor. Yeah,
He's
that's
done his
not-
third one, but when he's in our group chat and he'll be like, "Hey, I'm going offline for the next 3 months." Got invited back to the show. He set up his whole Instagram with like scheduled posts. So every Tuesday for 100 days, he would have his KFC for lunch. His Zinger Tuesdays or whatever would pop up. So we had a DeWalt insert every Tuesday.
So what did he do? He'd eat KFC
I don't
like
know if
every
he
day for
said-
2 weeks before.
Jeez, I want to go on Survivor.
And then he got all Postmates going, yeah.
So he did it just so people didn't know he was on Survivor.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it looked normal.
But I didn't
to
think he
his-
was going on Survivor because he posted on social
No,
media.
but that was...
That's after the fact.
Yeah, so it's a
isn't
pretty
it?
general term
he
that
was-
you can't let someone know that you're doing something for
Okay,
a while.
He was like
No,
back.
he's a good
NDA.
fella. We've been trying to get him on podcast for a bit. We'll make it happen, but we want to get him in person.
He's
Yeah.
Brisbane based, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we
So he
tried,
comes from a marketing background.
We tried to get him on.
We're going to Brisbane soon.
well, in September.
Yeah.
We tried to get him on when you guys were all influencing like a couple of months
We got
ago.
Sammy
And
on.
he
Oh,
goes,
the Ox
Yes,
Tools thing.
yeah.
He goes, I'm busy influencing.
That was so good. That Oxdale
He's
was
a
so
good
good.
He's a
He's a
good
rip
guy,
dude,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, really good.
He's very calculated. So,
I want to get back to what Matt was talking about. Tradies being dumb.
oh yeah.
That's a real big one, I reckon, because my background's Sri Lankan, right? So you have to go to university.
Yeah.
That's like the thing is like, and my brother Andre
Yeah.
once called me. He goes, "I'm not one of your dumb tradie mates," and we had a fucking huge blowout over it.
So
Yeah.
your brother, who we all know really well, and
Yeah.
do you know what? I've got all the time in the world for Andre. He's a good friend of mine. But I think even that kind of comment is just not, it's just not relevant these days. Like,
No, look, it was many years ago, and we were running big together at each
okay.
other's throats.
Yeah.
It was heated, real heated thing, right? And I fucking flipped my lid when he said it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like hypersensitive to that
Yeah.
sort of stereotype. It's like, fuck you. I'm not stupid just because I'm a tradesman. I'd argue that I'm fucking smarter than you because I fucking picked the trend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just because I swear or just because I'm less polished, it doesn't mean,
didn't go to
I'm less
university.
than, I actually think there are heaps of people with degrees that are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, let's just go on the record saying, long time ago from Andre, because I don't want to poo-poo Andre because
No,
he's
no,
a
no.
fucking legend.
Andre actually, I will say this one thing. Andre actually, I moved in with Andre when I was in my teens just to get through high school. Like he actually went to my parent-teacher interviews.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah. He did heaps for me as a kid. If it wasn't for Andre, I'd have been dropped out at year 9.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he's
So he is the smarter one.
he's
But there's this thing that like schools were like, you got to go to university and you do your careers day and you've got to go, if you don't go to uni, you're a failure. If you're not a doctor or a lawyer or a...
You go to uni these days, you end up working in the timber yard serving us anyway, don't you?
Yeah. Let me ask you, is
Can't get
that stigma still there? Because I know we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah, of
like
course
it
it
kind
is.
of feels like being a tradie is the cop out. Like,
I think it's unspoken now.
is it okay?
I reckon it's still people still think it,
Yeah.
but I
Do
don't
you think that's
that.
the government system to keep people in school?
Well, man, when you went to school, how many tradies or someone came and spoke to you about doing a trade?
Not one.
None.
That's
Mate,
funny.
I went to a private school in Yarra Valley, and
Oh,
and not once did they talk about trades.
Yeah.
And all my mates who ended up becoming tradespeople, because they're all like me, couldn't fucking sit still in class.
Yeah.
And they ended up doing sparkies, cabinet makers. They all run successful businesses now.
But how many people said to you after, obviously, procedure school, Yarra Valley, right?
Yeah.
Said to you, geez, your parents wasted their money sending you there.
Well, so I'm a little bit different. I did go to uni.
Yeah.
So after I finished school, I value the education that I got there, and I reckon if I had have ended up in the public school system, I probably would have got lost, and I probably wouldn't have turned out.
Yeah, and there's definitely values you pick out of that to make you are today. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not saying I'm an interesting example, but I think I'm a little bit different because I can see both sides of it.
Yeah.
I can see both sides of university. I can see value in going to a really good public school. I can see value in going to a really good private school. But then there's also parts of the private school system that I don't like.
What if there was a private tech school? Because we got rid of tech schools.
Yeah, I love
What
it.
if there was a fucking private tech school, like where you could go, you could send your kids, and they could learn about running a small business, like
There's a
corporate
massive
structure, tax,
opportunity there.
and do their trade stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
think about it. People are paying $30,000-$40,000 to send their kids to a private school for a better education.
Is it
A
better?
A year.
A year.
Per child.
That's now. And that's, so let's also touch on that for a second. So that's 40 grand net.
yeah.
That's after they paid their taxes. That's before.
yeah, that's post-tax.
Yeah. So really you've got to earn 60 grand
No, I reckon if you've got 3 kids,
Way
it's
more than
one
that.
Yeah,
person
that's before
working
you put
full time in that
food on
family
table.
at 120 grand a year to send your kids to private school, because you've got to then add on all the other things on top.
So what if your kid's not that way inclined like yourself? What if you could go back in time and your parents could have sent you to a 40 grand to 30, 25 grand a year tech school where you came out and you went and learnt in an environment that suited you?
Do you know what? I don't know what the answer is that for me, because I didn't do badly at school. So
Yeah.
academically,
Yeah,
I was okay. But I'm thinking about other people who kind of limped through year 12.
The good ones,
Like-
when they finish high school, they go into the apprenticeship straight away. They're the ones that have always wanted to be a tradie.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, that was me.
But I don't reckon
yeah.
I wasn't ready when I finished school.
Yeah, and
like
this-
I went overseas for 4 years. I didn't get into carpentry until I was 24.
Yeah, okay.
So I didn't come. I came in,
And that's
late.
probably more common now too.
Well, I reckon it benefited me because I went to university. I finished school, went to university, and I travelled for 4 years. And I got back, and at that point, I'm like, Luce, because I just met Luce while I was overseas, dragged her back to Melbourne, and I'm like, I want to be a chippy. This is what I want to do. And I was so focused at that point to becoming a chippy. And I don't reckon I would have done that at
There's a
18.
lot of pressure on 16-year-olds to know what they want to do for the rest of their life.
How the
Ding, ding,
fuck
ding,
are they
ding.
meant to know
Yeah.
that? But even someone going to university,
Yeah.
like
People
every,
listening to this podcast that will be pushing their kids to go to university, and
one really good thing about the American system is they go and do a year of college, like
Oh, yeah.
to figure shit out. Like they don't go
Yeah.
and start doing their university degree until the second year, or finish school, go overseas for a
Well, I
year.
feel like that's so important. Like the guys that I've had in employed that have travelled and they're a bit cultured and they understand
Yeah.
and appreciate things,
Yeah,
wildly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
an 18-year-old boy, are they really what you want to be dealing with?
26-year-olds.
No, but like what I'm saying is, do you
just
really want to be
saying,
dealing with an 18-year-old boy as an apprentice?
As an apprentice. Oh, look.
I've got one
probably
now.
not.
It's a little bit more challenging.
I don't think I'm built like that anymore to be able to deal with these young kids. And
Yeah, see, I'm getting to a different stage, I reckon, where I'm actually wanting
Younger.
like a young kid that's actually really keen to learn, because I've got a little bit of
21
capacity
but
now.
20
but I
but
reckon
21.
half the problem is, as the business owner and the tradesman, you've got so much other shit that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And people, like tradesmen, are part of the problem because they think they're going to hire an apprentice as cheap labour. It's not. It's expensive labour from a time and a cost perspective. What you should be doing, and so many people message me on Instagram asking my advice on who to hire, and I'm like, always, a good fucking chippy.
But so first year
Yeah.
apprentice,
Get a good
will cost
qualified
you
first.
$34 an hour, roughly cost.
I reckon it's more.
No, it's more, man,
more.
because
It'd be
you've got to pay
$50
for them
an
at trade school, plus you've got to pay
Yeah,
for their
yeah.
trade school.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So we've worked it out. It's $50 an hour. It costs you to
Costs you.
take an apprentice.
Not to mention, it'll slow down your productivity,
Oh,
and they will fuck things up more than a carpenter will.
yeah.
So you add those costs
I'm
in
not
there,
adding.
not
I'm
cheap.
not adding those costs that you can't quantify.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you know, my thing now is I'm like, because I have capacity, I reckon it'd be cool because I could actually teach the skill.
But do they appreciate it at that age? This is where I'm kind of wanting to get
No,
to.
I
is
don't
like,
think I did. I was 19 when I started. I didn't really appreciate it, but
So
I didn't have a choice either.
21, 22, I feel is like the ultimate spot.
I reckon the penny drop for me, I was like mid-20s before I appreciated what I was doing.
30.
Yeah.
30 for me. Yeah,
be
man,
about the same.
I was having a chat with my VA yesterday about like what I was like when I was 26, 27. And I'm like, there's no way I could sit here and have like a serious conversation with anyone. I was off here and there. And
I'd say,
like,
no, well, I'm different. I started my first business at 22.
yeah, okay.
I started Bink at 22.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Yeah.
well.
So I was qualified for a few months and then we were into it. And our first year we did $1 million and then we were doing 3 after like 2.5 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess different. Yeah.
Oh man, I wasn't ready.
The
I was
epitome
a,
of
I was
not
a
a dumb
pain in the
tradie.
ass to work for, right? I was like,
You knew it all kind of thing.
I sort of, and I'll still maintain this. I reckon when I was that age, I reckon I had the answers, right? But I found them. Like I sort of went a bit backwards, like I did it in a backwards way, but I still made it work.
Was it? What do you mean by that? Though, like you weren't confident in yourself.
I backed myself in.
You couldn't communicate it.
I just couldn't. I just didn't have the street cred
Yeah.
behind me. But I'm
okay.
like, no, I can do this,
Yeah.
right?
The confidence, and even if you didn't, you'd fake it till you make it for maybe the last
blind
10%.
optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you find that confidence? Because you said like in high school you weren't like a popular kid, or
No,
you
I was
know.
overweight. I was 102 kilos in high school.
Yeah.
That's probably where I found it.
So, okay, is that? But how did you find it being overweight? Like often it's the opposite. Did you
Yeah.
think like? Did you just go like, fuck it, this is what I am.
Well,
take it or leave it? Or
I think
like,
I just had a moment. I was like, well, I can either believe what they're all saying or say, fuck you, I'm going to believe what I reckon.
yeah, okay.
And I just be like, I reckon I'm all right, actually. Like, I reckon I rate myself.
Yeah.
And
I fucking love that.
I did. I would fake it, fake confidence and everything. And there was bravado. I got myself into fights and shit when I was younger all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Because I got teased a lot as well. And I just fucking, it was like water off a duck's back sort of thing. It would hurt me later on. Like, you know, when I was on my own and I'd really stew on shit.
It hurts me because I got bullied when I was a kid too because
Really?
I was an overweight kid.
Really?
Up until about 16, yeah. And then it kind of just fell off like you sort of grow and whatever. So I reckon from grade 3 up until year 7 or 8, you know, it was always a thing, right? And it has impacted me even to this day. Because like I got 9-year-old, you know, 9-year-old kids now starting to
Their brain is different to us.
and kids in the playground are starting to try to work out life, and that sometimes that comes out in bullying. And unfortunately, Darcy's been on the end of bullying, and this has been really hard for me recently because it's bringing up all these memories of when I was a kid, and I don't want that for him because I know how it impacted me, even to this day. Like, I think I'm in pretty good shape now, but I'm still the fat kid that I was when I was 14.
Yeah.
I you know, without sort of talking about body dysmorphia, but I'll look at myself in the mirror now and I'll still think that.
Yeah.
When I know it's not the case.
Yeah.
So I know how it's impacted me throughout my entire life.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, how do you approach that with your kids? Because I feel like we're in a different time now where we can talk to our kids and we can help them kind of navigate bullying and, you know, certain people in their life sort of not being great influences on them. Like, how do you navigate that? Because I'm figuring this out now.
I basically do the opposite to like what my old man was like with me. I mean, my old man was in the 40s in a Catholic boarding school, right?
Okay.
So there were like notoriously horrible
Yeah.
environments to grow up in, right?
Yeah.
So my dad, he had zero emotions. It was like
Yeah.
angry or indifferent. Like that was sort of it.
Yeah.
But I just think back to, like you said, I think back to being that kid. And so my son's copying it a little bit now. Not because he's overweight. He's just hanging out with grade 3ers and he's in prep.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's like real...
He looks like a younger grade 3 then.
Yeah, like, but he's just so full on. Like, he's so crash and bash. He wants to talk to the older kids.
Yeah.
And they like him. But then when they tease him, he doesn't quite get it,
Yeah.
and he flips out of it. And I'm like, mate, you need to maybe not hang out with grade 3ers because they're talking about things that you don't know.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing I do, man, is I just listen to him, and then I ask him questions,
Yeah.
and it gets him to talk more.
Yeah.
And then I've found now, even for the kids, it's like the whole thing with your wife. They just want to talk.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Like, they just want to be heard.
In the right way. They want to feel heard, just like you want to talk and want to feel heard as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing, to be honest.
yeah.
How did we end up on that conversation?
I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be a
No,
lot of
it's
sideways.
just interesting because I'm going through it now with my
yeah.
kids, and like it's just a real sore point for me because I know how hard it was, and now I'm at a point in life where now I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you know, talking to you last night, I'm in fucking Lycra and going to Pilates, and I'm like, I actually don't give a fuck because I enjoy this.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to criticize you for fucking drinking beers and cooking Italian sausages.
When you hit 30, you hit 30 and you start realizing, like, I actually don't give a fuck what other people think.
Yeah,
This
I
makes
don't
me
know.
happy. Like, oh, you rag on me, great. For me, that's engagement. Great.
You know what I mean?
Like-
And I tell you what, I felt so much better getting in the car at 8 o'clock last night than I did when I walked into that class at 7 o'clock because I stretched and I did whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool, I needed that.
I
Yeah.
also want to quickly touch on how you said you look in the mirror now and you still feel like the overweight younger kid. Do you use that? Do you look at that differently now and use that for motivation, or does it get you down? Or like, how do you?
Nah, so I think, and I really, I hesitate by talking about body image because I don't know if it's healthy, and I don't necessarily want to. Like, I'm really conscious about the language I use around my kids because I don't want it to be a thing. Like, you know, our narrative is like food is energy and energy is to move our body and all that kind of stuff. I do feel that when I'm feeling good and eating right, my head's really good. And, you know, I've unknowingly been managing my ADHD by exercising really regularly for the past 43 years of my life.
Yeah.
So
Talk about mindful builder. This is
Yeah.
a mindful builder
Exactly
chat. This
right.
is not what people would have been thinking they'd be hearing in this episode.
And I didn't know it was going to go there either. But like, I don't feel like, for me, what I'm doing with my life and my body right now is for me.
Yeah.
It's not about not anybody else.
So this probably links back to then going back to the kids with their apprenticeship or thinking about it. Do you think it's the parents are the barriers to the child wanting to do the apprenticeship because they've perceived through their generations that
Maybe.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever copped phone calls from a parent of an apprentice?
Only once.
I've had a few.
Yeah, I had one once, and it was one and done. That was it.
Yeah. I'm like, you're holding your kid back right now. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've been the opposite. I have been that. Oh, we want to have weekly meetings to understand how the development. And I was like, no. You're in a big world now. Like you're employed. You're not at school anymore.
Yeah.
I've had a few like that.
There's no parent-teacher interviews.
Yeah. This is work.
Did that reflect on the kid that were hesitant about everything and?
I'll be
Like,
very
it's obviously their
mindful of how I
mindset at
comment
home.
about this right now. Yeah, you could see. Yeah, you could see that there's a bit of cotton wool. Actually, there's a lot of cotton wool wrapping.
I think that happens a lot though now. Anyway,
It's scary though. You think your kid's going from school in a semi-controlled environment to like, all right, out with these dumb tradies, with these broods. You know what I mean? Like it's
Especially if they're younger.
Yeah.
10, 11, 12 years.
And that's the barrier that I've seen is that because that like I don't give a fuck what an 18-year-old is doing and what they think is cool is definitely not what I think cool. And it goes back to the comment hiring someone younger. It's very hard to actually connect with them because you just don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe once your kids are 18 and you can kind of know their friends and you understand
The
what's
tricky part about that though is I actually think that you do want to have an environment that accepts all different kinds of people at different ages and levels of maturity
But-
and stuff
saying
like
it's harder
that.
to connect.
But do you want? But
though,
do you
right?
want? But ultimately, you want culture, and
No,
and,
and
we talk about discrimination. And I'll say that yes, you shouldn't discriminate. But ultimately, I'll hire who I think is best. And if I think a 30-year-old is better for the role than an 18-year-old, that's discrimination.
Wow, this is tricky, isn't it? Because I think you need to hire for the culture of the business. Now, I know you don't have a team, but I know you have a team, and you talk a lot about the culture in your team. And I guess from what I see on social media,
yeah.
you look like you've got a really tight team. Like, how do you go about fostering that?
I'm just really honest with them, man. I don't talk shit to them. I've got a short-term memory for all that sort of stuff. So I hate fucking lying and telling them one version and then like I don't want to be like, oh, I better not drive the Tundra so my staff don't see it. You know, like I can't be fucked. It's too hard.
Yeah.
So I'm just honest with them. But
Yeah.
I tell them, I'm like, you want me to make money.
Yeah.
Like you want me to be making money because that's how,
That's how you get
pay
paid.
goes through every
Yeah.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, when it's really shit, I've told them like, I'm fucking at the end of my rope. Like I'm losing it. I need fucking help. We're in this fucking drama. This has happened. This has happened. This has happened. And you know what, man? Some of them jump. They're like,
Fight or flight.
I haven't signed up for this, and that's cool
Yeah.
because I didn't really have that relationship with all of them either. But it made those guys stick around.
Without getting too fucking Simon Sinek here, but vulnerability is a massive way of getting your team to get that cohesion. Because I remember there's been some times where I've struggled because I go up and down with my anxiety, and there's been times where I've been just really honest with the team. I go, team, I'm struggling. Like I'm really just holding shit together right now. I remember about 2 years ago when we were buying and selling a house. I'm like, I've got like a fibre of the thread right now that I'm holding on to. I need your help.
Yeah.
And every single one of that people at that table are just like, all right, well, what can we do?
Yeah, it's sick though.
We used to do that, yeah.
yeah.
On like a fortnightly, like every fortnight we'd have a toolbox spending when I had my crew, and I feel like being open about that would reflect on, you get on the site and something little might set you off, but if
Yeah.
they've got substance to why
Context.
you're feeling like that,
You
you
guys
kind
got
of, yeah.
short tempers though.
Not
You
anymore.
you said you used
I
to.
used to.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at like removing myself from the environment, being like, is it something I can
Respond,
fix right now?
don't react.
Yeah, is it exactly? Yeah, is it something I can fix? Is it something out of my control? I have a fucking breath. Like I can feel. I'm so much more self-aware in the
Yeah.
last sort of 3 or 4 years than I was before.
Do you know what I do now? And I think you and I are probably a very similar personality and how our brain works. If I'm really flustered in the moment, I'd actually physically say to myself, your response to this is going to be so much different in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So go and take yourself away. And I'll say it out loud and I'll walk away and I'll walk 100 metres that way and 100 metres this way and just take some deep breaths. And now I'm like, okay, cool.
That's
Right.
why I won't send an email to the next day when I don't like
Yeah.
the email. I would just, I'll write it and then I read it sometimes like, ugh.
Holy.
And I'm blunt. I'm already blunt and direct as it is, let alone.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be my question. Like, how many is in your team, and how do you go with your team? Because
We have a very quirky, different sided team, and I like that. We're not your typical team. Like everyone's a very different background. I'm not big on the whole let's hang out after work thing. I think that everyone should have a life, and I think it's like you work we'll just say your 9 to 5. Like you do, like you've got a life. I don't want you at work all the time. I want you to be with your friends and family and whatever. For me, we're very just open. I don't really care about anything, to be honest with you. Like you'll laugh. Like I will fire you quickly now. I've learned it quickly. If I don't like you, I'll just get rid of you from the start. I have a team that is awesome right now, and they just get along.
Yeah.
And that's all I ask. The rest will work itself out. I don't overcomplicate it. And I think that's the problem is people go sign up for these team culture days and team bonding days. And I played a lot of footy. So culture for me is like we've come from a club where back in the day, it was old school footy club and it's completely changed.
Yeah.
So I was part of that cultural shift. So creating culture, you can't create it. It just happens. Like you've got to.
I agree with that.
You can't force culture down people's throats.
No. We don't do anything from a cultural perspective aside from a Christmas party, and we try to do like a camp trip in the middle of the year, or like the last few years we would have a charity gala that we'd go to, and we get the guys to all bring their partners.
I don't even do that.
And they loved that, but that was only because there was this charity thing. Otherwise, we don't do it.
Yeah.
If you're forcing something with culture, I think you're the problem yourself. Like if I'm forcing culture, like I'm a barrier myself.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Like we just have a beer and we'll have a barbie sometimes. Or
Who wants to come
I
for
reckon
a-
my cheat code thing that I've just worked out is I do our team meeting now on a Friday arvo.
It's exactly what we do. We do our team meeting on a.
Interesting.
So
do you do
good,
monthly?
man.
We just do a monthly team
Nah,
meeting.
because I can't get my head around spending about $1,500 a month on like labour and costs. So I do it every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We just do 2 hours on 2:30, 2 o'clock every Friday and once a month, and we'll just go think what we're working on, what's coming up, what projects, questions. I do a wellness survey, so I have a wellness survey now. That's the first time we've done it. That goes out to my
Really?
What's in the wellness survey?
I'll grab it up and I'll literally read you the questions. So anyone that wants to copy it. So
I
there's a
reckon my
few
guys
things.
would throw it out if I gave
So,
it to them.
so,
and they'd
so
probably-
it's not. It's
two of
actually.
them-
It's not.
At least two of them would quit if I gave them a
I
wellness
call it
survey.
I call it a wellness survey. It's not wellness. It's because I'm not on site all the time and I don't know what's happening, and I don't have the chance to see them every day. So for me, I want to know how they are, just how things are going on site and how they're feeling. I'm just going to grab it up for a second.
While you're bringing it up, though, I'm going to challenge you because I think you're probably onto something here. Like, there's been times where, like, I'm not on site much, and I'll just message one of the team and go, "Hey, haven't seen you for a while. What's going on? How's your family? You know, just a little check in like that for like
It goes so far.
a couple of minutes."
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. I'm not saying that's not a good idea, but like,
No, I
it's
still
being
see them
so
I still see them
prescribed.
once a week. So we do fortnightly job site meetings. So I always see them and I always say hi.
I'm just trying to figure out like, and you're going to know your team. You're going to know your team. I'm going to know my
So
team. You're going to know yourself.
So the questions they're a little bit different.
You're like, Andrew, Hoppo, how am I feeling today?
So to give you
Everyone else
context,
lets me know because I'm so vocal about everything.
so to give you context, it allows us to create goals for our team. And not on every one of them. So we might pick one that we're not doing well on. So I've got the questions of how would you rate the tone of communication style on site? Like, and this is all anonymous. I can, if I wanted to, go find out who said it if I see something's red flagged.
Oh, hang on a minute. It's anonymous.
Well,
not
because
anonymous.
if there's a
That's not
sexual
anonymous.
harassment, something that no one wanted to speak up, I need to be able to see who it is. But I have to actually, it's actually an effort to go find out who it is.
Yeah.
So do you
Let's
feel
hope there's no
respected and
sexual
free
harassment.
from any form of harassment or bullying on this site?
I think my guys all sexually harass each other, to be totally honest.
When you raise a
Thank Joel for coming on the
I
podcast.
have to try and
Is that your car at the front?
I've got so when you raise a concern or suggestion, how much do you feel heard and supported? How do you feel the site is a place where everyone is treated with the same respect? How would you rate the cleanliness and upkeep of the toilets and on site each month? How would you rate the quality of work we produced in the last month? How would you rate the morale and atmosphere? When things go wrong, does the team focus on finding a solution? Is everyone following safety? And how clear are our daily briefings?
I like the idea of that, Matt, but my constructive feedback is oh fuck.
You know what? I'm gonna say something. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's too formal.
I don't think it feels
yeah.
personable. I feel like a text, like a check-in.
I feel
it's not the only way I check in on them though.
I know.
I just feel
I just couldn't
it's
do that.
more like what kind of feedback are you going to get from that?
Okay, I'll give you an example. So,
and I guess this is where you know your team, I know my team. I know that probably wouldn't flow with mine, but it might flow with his.
No, so the reason I started it is because I wanted them to understand themselves and give them a tool to rate themselves. So they get the results and all this. This isn't we just go through it. And so, for example,
but a self-rating tool is different to that.
This is so I combine everyone's score. And then I give them an average of what the team is. So it's not individual. So so we get a collective across the whole board and how we're going. So last month.
Do you treat it like a scientific thing and get the outliers? Do you remember the outliers?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah, okay.
I've got like, so what we can do
Surprise, surprise.
He's got 3 people working for the team. There's one right in the middle of the other one.
We haven't target. So last month, me and Mark will also then rate. So we have my construction manager and I will come up with a score and we put it against your score and how we think. Now, some of these things I don't know what the morale's like, crazy on site, but things like last month, I thought the sites have been kept like shit for a whole month. So I was able to go, hey, Mark and I have both given you a 3. But you guys rated, you thought the site was clean at 8, and I think you guys have not pulled weight here. And there was actually someone else in that score that gave them a 3. I don't know who it was. So obviously someone in the team thinks a score.
Yeah, but then aren't they asking themselves the question, who the fuck is rating me?
No.
No,
because they all agreed. Ultimately, I just said, what are you working towards? Like, how do you give them a chance to stop and associate and think like, geez, how was that site kept? Or, you know what, has there been any bullying or has there been anything? Now, my team will call me. I'll just call them randomly. Like, I do chat to them regularly. I'm not about work, ironically. It's like, what's going on the weekend? Like, you're going away soon or anything like that. But it's more so the fact that I wanted to have a system that we can track. So in a year, I can see that we've got a clear delineation of like we're improving on our site. So I've said, let's not aim for a 10 out of 10 cleanliness site. Let's just hit 4 or 5.
Do you know what? I like the idea of what you've done, but what my challenge to you is I'd rethink the questions.
I've spent 6 months on these questions.
But I don't know. I kind of feel like my gut reaction to those questions, and I think your gut reaction, I'm not sure about you, was that it's not the right questions. I like the sentiment.
So, in what like?
And I don't know what the answer is. So don't ask me what I'll do.
The goal is to make sure that ultimately it's a HR exercise. I need to be, if I'm not around all the time, how do I check in to make sure that there's checkpoints along the way?
I just feel it's a bit corporate-y.
Yeah.
You have to be now.
But I don't know if that actually resonates with a lot of tradespeople, man. Like, I think Hoppo and I are pretty representative of what a lot of tradespeople's fucking brains work like. And a lot of us hate structure. Like, hate all that corporate shit. And that's kind of why what I love about being a tradesman is I don't have to deal with the corporations and all that sort of stuff. I really don't like that sort of stuff. And I think a lot of my guys would feel the same way. And we're having the philosophical argument.
This is why I'm saying I think, your team, maybe my team, but his team might love that. So I guess it's just working out.
It's not full. Yeah. Like, there's multiple layers of why you do something. There's the reasons that you needed, like, I needed something checkpointed because ultimately if something does shit at the fan, what do you have to stand against? You can't stand against, and like unfortunately, the world we live in now is de-risking. Like, even though it's corporate, that's why it's corporate structure.
Yeah.
Like I also have a very good team. One, it allows us now, so we know now, like, of those 10 things, we've seen, hey, our sites aren't clean, we need to improve it. So we can now focus on, we have a specific task. If something was to ever go wrong and someone potentially didn't feel like they wanted to tell me something,
mate, you lost me. Sorry.
But you can't, but what's the issue with it?
I don't know. I'm just like...
I feel like my guys would it have to be more like goal orientated? Like, hey, if we can hit this structure over the next 6 weeks, we're going to do a pub.
So we have all that. No, we have all that. So that's this is just a complete separate wellness, because if I can also check in and go, the last 4 months this person's been down, I can also.
I think that probably the big highlight out of this conversation is, with your own business, you can set the culture and the tone that you want to set to create the overall culture that you want.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you've got a lot of reasons and you've done a lot of thinking and thoughts as to why this is going to work. And it probably obviously is working.
Yep,
right?
I agree. That's what I was saying. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I think, thinking about it, your approach makes it more scalable.
Yep.
My approach is not scalable, but there's a lot of things in my business.
Yeah, and that's why I've got 3 new team members that just started. So that's, again, another reason.
And you do have to change things within your business as your team grows or evolves. Sometimes a new 1 or 2 people will come in and you've got to change your approach because of those new people.
Yeah, like I don't sit down and do yearly reviews, which is a constant chat and update on how I think you're going. Like I don't sit and have, let's have your formal review for the year. I think that's, to me,
I'm gonna change the conversation for a second. Just what's the next big fish that you guys want to catch from an influencer point of view? Have you got anyone that you're kind of eyeing off?
Yeah. You first.
I would
Sexy
like
Land, wasn't it?
some sort of.
Oh no, that one's in the bag.
We can't talk about
That's
that
actually
one yet.
both of us doing it.
That's a whole other channel.
Probably like a vehicle.
Yeah.
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 Probably
like a Tesla.
So you,
Oh god.
you had a
I cut them up. It was a Jack Ute.
yeah.
But at the time they didn't have trays and some other things, so it wasn't aligning with me. So we had plans to do more stuff in the future, and I nipped it in the butt.
Did you take that up to Fraser or something?
Yeah. So my partner Georgia and I went up to Fraser, and she lived up in Harvey Bay for, I don't know, maybe 10 years, and we went over there, and I was like, I could hire one, or I could hit him up and be like, hey,
Yeah,
you guys
sweet.
give me a brand new ute, I'll go across there and I'll get some footage, and it'll and we did that. But I inevitably said to him in the end, like, hey, I don't think this is aligning with the way my business is going, and the ute I sort of want to drive and the features, etc. Thank you for everything, but I'm gonna, So I think something else, and I think maybe a car's the next thing.
Car. What about you,
potentially.
Joel?
So
Window company.
It's a houseboat.
I'm kind of locked in with window companies. Christmas would be pretty awkward if I locked in with a different window company. So I have had a couple of chats with GM.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been informal chats, and I've appreciated just getting in the door for the chat. And yeah, I'm probably going to say something's going to hurt my chances at it, but whatever.
Do you reach out to them?
Hey, yeah, I did when I was at so Team 18, which is they've got the DeWalt supercar.
Yeah.
When we went to the F1 in the corporate suite, there was some guys there for GM, and man, I just elevator pitched this guy, and
Why not?
I just went for it, and I got his email address. It took me about 7 rounds to get in the door.
Yeah.
And then I wrote a proposal up, and I just said, look, man, I'm a car nut, man. I always have been.
What are you shooting
It's a
for?
Silverado.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want it for free or something. Like all I actually want is I want to partner with them.
Yeah.
So I want some support.
Yeah.
And they've indicated a possible some support.
Cool.
Which is like minor, and they said, look, we're a long-term thing. We need to see who you are, that you actually are aligned with us. We're, they're General Motors, man. They're a huge company.
Just a small little,
But for me, I've been this kid that's been obsessed with Holden and Chevrolet my whole life.
Yeah.
Right? Aside from like all the work utes that were being Toyota, and I've been so disappointed with my Tundra. I'm just done with it. I'm out of it. I'm like ready to sell it. So what I want to do
Shouldn't
is
you be saying you love it so someone will buy it?
Nah, but I won't lie. Like I won't lie. I don't love it. Someone else will. So many people, so many guys go, oh, what do you think of the Tundra? I'm like, I'm selling it, man. I don't like it. It's missing 2 pots. I need a V8. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just me though.
Yeah.
I've always been like that. And it was like this guilt thing that, you know, because the Silverados, they're a bit more showy
A
and
little bit more showy, yeah.
You know,
You're
but-
talking about the big ones? You talk about
no, I'm not getting a 2500.
Yeah, okay.
No, the smaller one.
I've
which
heard
is
the
not small.
2500s are actually better on fuel because they're diesel.
Look, they might be. I actually don't really know a whole heap about the 2500. I've sort of actively avoided looking into it because I
Yeah.
don't want to go down the garden
A couple
path
of mates
there.
have got one.
Yeah.
and
They're
one of
sick.
them had the smaller, is it?
The 1500.
The 1500, yeah.
That's the petrol one, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, nah, I switched from the 1500 and went to the 2500.
I think a few guys have like, it's like a slippery slope. You start and
100%, right.
then all of a sudden you go on a big dog builds in Queensland and
Yeah.
spending 300 grand on it. What are you?
Before we sort of jumped on chatting with you, you were sort of saying there's a couple of sort of things in the pipe works at the moment that you guys are working on. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I reckon we can.
Great.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah. What do you want to drop
well,
first?
we've been talking to DeWalt.
Yep.
And it sounds like it may happen that we may be going to Bathurst.
Wow.
What's Bathurst?
I couldn't help myself. I knew it was baiting me, and I bit it anyway.
But we're not just going to Bathurst.
No, there's like a whole road trip sort of planned. It's not official, so we might be.
No.
It is now.
It may not eventuate, but again, DeWalt are pretty. They're pretty good. Like we feel like it's going to happen.
They match that madness pretty well.
Yeah, I think they just like the energy, and like it's like the tradie pilgrimage to Bathurst. So we kind of like, I'm like saying like V8 supercars used to be huge.
Yeah.
And it kind of dropped off when Holden and Ford stopped making cars here, and it's sort of picking back up again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can be like the conduit for the trade community back to, you know, V8 supercars. Because I think that's like, as a guy who's a car nut, I want it to be bigger than
Yeah.
than it
And
currently is.
Sammy's a car nut as well.
Yeah, so we're dragging Hoppo along.
Just along for the
So
ride.
it's going to be the three of us.
I hope they
on
put
like
you in an EV to drive
on a
up
road
there.
trip. And then,
Yeah, sweet. And just document the whole thing.
yeah, we're going to like film the whole thing. We're going to do stop-offs on the way.
Yeah.
We're camping at Bathurst. That'll be like, so that's in October. That'll be sick.
Yeah.
That'll be really sick. And then we've been chatting about, and we've put together an idea for a podcast for me, Sammy, and Hoppo to do.
Nice.
But it's going to be different.
What's it going to be called? The Unmindful Builder?
The unfiltered builder.
The unmindful builder, yeah. Is what you just
No,
said. I said the
we
unmindful.
could say, you tell them what it's called.
Between Two Jobs, it's called. So it's
Two Jobs.
it's going to be a bit more casual. There's enough nerdy builders
Yeah.
podcasts. No, it's just
Anyway, let's all
just sort of the bit more of the casual chats.
Yeah.
You know, when they're in their work gear, it's
It's the
Well,
same
it's
thing
more
that
the
that you
day-to-days.
see at office now, right? Like, as in, there's no bullshit. We just are who we are.
Yeah.
And feel like what you guys are doing is awesome, and we actually really, really rate what you guys are doing for the industry. But it's as a builder, and it's not just as a builder. It's at that other like top end of like,
And that's our
building
struggle.
science and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, who's doing it for tradies, man? Like, there's
more of the day-to-day
comedians,
awareness.
there's comedians doing shit that we relate to.
Yeah.
But like, where's the knockabout blokes that are just talking about shit that
the
are
grunt
average?
talk and-
Because it's, for me, I don't really identify as a builder much anymore, man. I'm just like a chippy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of my personality, the way I approach things. And if we can represent trades or like have a chat that trades relate to, great.
Is it hard with Sam being so far away to record?
We'll do sort of more like you were saying. We'll try and do like, all right, film 3 episodes. Like, he's more than open to travel.
Yeah.
Like, his next collab will be with like a hotel, I reckon.
Yeah.
Some real estate will probably give him an apartment in Melbourne.
He
So
kills it though. He's so good.
He's so happy. He just makes time.
Yeah.
He just makes time to do things. and get
I
down
think, thinking about having met all of you and know all of you reasonably well through social media, I think it'll appeal to a big audience. And I think it'll be really good. And I think the good thing about it, like, we know we appeal to a certain segment of the market.
Yeah.
And that's who we're targeting.
But we've been talking exactly about this, literally the same thing about how do we appeal to more tradies, because we understand that.
But I
like,
also feel like I think that's a good thing to do, and I think getting you guys on, like, just having a different conversation is always good. But I think we set out to do,
Yeah.
with a goal of who our target market was. And I think you guys coming on and doing what you want to do is awesome as well.
Yeah.
Like, I
It's
think,
come at different dynamics. It's really worked online so far, but
Yeah. That's probably what happened as
call.
well. We'd catch up and it's just fucking madness. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and we have a great time anyway.
and would it be just the three of you, or would you get
Pretty
guests?
much.
Yeah, okay.
We'd get a guest in here and there.
Yeah.
Like, so we had this idea, what we're going to call it? The Mad Dog of the Month.
oh yeah, it's
So
just,
a monthly Mad Dog.
Monthly Mad Dog.
So,
okay.
you know, we might give them something or we might ask someone on that we think is really interesting or whatever, like just from a real trade perspective. But it's not about like selling products. It's not about,
It's
you know,
your creative side
chewing
Yeah.
the fat and
Yeah.
you know, and our experience, and that's like when we go to events with like DeWalt, they see us, the three of us, like the three stooges around, and like people they just love it. So it's different dynamics completely, different backgrounds, but you know the same core, and it just works really well. And we just sit there and talk for fucking hours. And
And do you know what? Fuck it. You got to find out. If it
Exactly.
works.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's the same thing. Like, you
Yeah.
know, just if it doesn't fucking work, like the worst that can happen is it's like irrelevant to people. Like, people just go, meh,
And who cares?
yeah, whatever.
Doesn't matter. Or it might be amazing and it might fucking take off.
And we all said that about ourselves at the start of, you know, starting our Instagram journeys and putting stuff out there. Like, well, who really cares? Turns out fucking heaps of people care.
Yeah, the worst thing, I actually thought the worst thing that could happen, the worst would be like all this hate, but the hate's not all that bad. It's when it bombs, when it does nothing, that's kind of the
Hate's
worst.
loud though. It's 1% of people and they're just loud. The
Yeah, but
99%
it's also
of people.
great for the algorithm as well.
Yeah.
When people start.
Do you guys get much like hate?
I get a fair bit.
Yeah.
Like, I actually get a lot, but I fucking
I was going
like
to say,
that.
you would love
My favorite question as well is why. When they're like, oh, that won't work. I just ask why. And then they'll they'll answer back and have a crack at something we've done. I'll be like, you didn't answer your own question, but do you want to then answer why that won't work?
Yeah.
And they'll just usually disappear or they'll give a crappy answer and then I'll rebut it and then they'll be like, no, that's not right. And I'm like, and then I just there's a tool called Google, type it in.
I'll tell you what, if one of these guys ever comment on something that I've done, I really got to think about my response because I know I will
I'm going to fucking delete my post.
I'm just going to destroy next week and just every time he just does.
You actually never answered my question. Did you move your toilet?
No, I didn't.
No, but like I'm not a person. I could never think of anything worse than calling you out on something. Like I've done it once when the steel framing industry were trying to say how the material was sustainable. It's like fuck off, it's not. But I would never sit there and go, that's a stupid way of doing it. Or if I didn't like something, I'd message you on the side. I would never ever.
I've publicly commented on stuff that I thought was putrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not towards
Like putrid craftsmanship or workmanship. I'm like,
yeah.
that's disgusting.
Yeah, but it's
Or
hard.
guys, it's only when like someone's proud of something. I'm like, how are you fucking proud of that?
Yeah,
like this,
like
you
the
are.
like the toilet.
It's funny. I was in Joel. You got to use Joel's toilet. He'll call out before you get in there.
It's a hard
I'm just gonna go crawl under the table.
Like, I don't want to make someone's day feel like
One
shit.
thing, Joel. One thing of how many posts that you do that I'm fucking.
Yeah,
and
I know.
that's all I've got to hold
But you know
on
what?
to.
There's a few other people that are still on me about it. Like
Okay.
I'll put something and they'll be like, someone will say like, how about that toilet? I'm like, fuck.
You've also made an engagement piece about it now that haven't you? So it's like you're down for it. It's like
such a
I
thing.
flipped a barrow years ago after telling the client said to me like. It's like Middle Eastern client, very strict on. He's like, "Don't get it on my back lawn." Or I was like, "Mate, it's not my first rodeo." And he's got it on the fucking camera. I've clipped the front edge of the barrow going down this ramp, and I flipped it, and I've ridden the barrow over it, and it went fuck. And I was like, I was so nervous, and I was like, I fucked up. I got to call it out. I said, "Hey, I can't remember his name. Jump on your back, left-hand camera, 2:15 p.m. today. I'm sorry."
Can I have the video too?
He just wrote back, ha 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 ha. Can I post on Facebook? That's all he wrote back.
You go, yes, if I can have the footage.
And he said, and it was the
Tag me.
best icebreaker ever. And I was scared to put it in my mouth. Goes, it's a fucking, just call yourself. And that was a real big one. I called myself that because I look ridiculous. And I
Oh, yourself a
copped it off
six-pack.
everyone. Yeah, and I put it up there and it went crazy. And I get requests for it now off people. Hey, it's that time of year again. But
I remember you posted it not recently, not too long ago, didn't you?
it's probably a year ago now.
Yeah,
Probably
I
due
remember-
for another
I remember
run.
it, yeah.
But fuck.
But I think the negative comment in the section, I don't know, I just feel like people have too much time on their hands. What I don't like is when I hide behind a profile. That's actually my pet.
dude, that sets me.
If it was from your profile, cool, we just have a civil conversation. If it's from you on a burner account, fuck you.
Yeah. You get a few people like that.
And then we had a troll going at both of us. Was it last year? That
there's been a couple. I'm just like, what? I'm just like, I almost picked the scab that. I try not to let it get to me.
Go make some real friends.
I stopped being on Facebook because Facebook's just so toxic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get out of your basement and stop masturbating and go live a
Do
life.
we have a mindful moment?
On that note,
So, Mindful Moment sponsored by MEGT, Australia's largest apprenticeship experts. Hamish, you've got one today.
So you guys are both social media influencers, and do you call yourself that?
No. It's also a construction creator, construction content creator. I try
Call
and
it
say.
whatever the fuck you want. You guys
I know.
you're
Influencers. Yes.
How do you, like any advice for someone wanting to do it? Because it's like the barriers of entry.
It's
to
time
doing it
consuming.
are like almost zero. Anyone can become an influencer.
yeah.
Like, how do you guys find the time? What's worked for you guys?
I tell it hasn't worked for me.
Yeah.
Trying to be someone I'm not.
Yeah.
Look at someone else online and go like, hey, that really works for them. I'll try and talk like that person or do this. Like it's so hard. It's so unnatural and people see right through it and it's just crap.
And that's actually something that I touched on from the very beginning. What's so relatable for both of you guys is that you are just who you are.
Yeah.
And nothing else. I mean, Matt does a really good job of being who he is as well.
Yeah, I think it's
an outspoken little arsehole.
Unashamedly, it's good.
super consistent.
And that's good because people know what they're going to get.
Yeah.
Like when they jump on. I feel like I'm a little bit more conservative, but I think it's funny. I'm like Jackie O. He's Carl Sandler.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you want to,
You have to have an opinion. That's one thing. You have to have an opinion.
Yeah, and don't just like if like the feedback I got for some companies early on is I would call out, hey, I love these shorts, I love this pocket, but this one's too shallow for my rule and that shits me. And people would be like, oh, hey, that's a point. Actually, I don't need that ruler pocket. That's useful for this. And I'd be like, sorry, I just had to say it how it is. And they go, it's our best feedback we've ever had. We've just sold X amount. Like, don't try and beat around the bush. Say it how it is, you know.
And when you are influencing, so say you're doing a DeWalt thing, do you actually say, oh, now I'm with the DeWalt fucking do-do-do-do?
Nah.
Or do you just use it?
I just did one for tax time for him. Hoppo's already done one. Sammy's done one. I did one. I tried to do it multiple different times. And I ended up just telling people like what I actually thought. I was like, listen, you've got like very few levers to pull for the end of the financial year. Go buy tools. Like, and then I said, these are the tools that I'd buy because it'll turn any job site into a joinery shop, basically.
Yep.
And then it sort of flowed and it worked. And, but I reckon my biggest advice to people, it's fucking gone out of my head done. I did this with you, remember? I had something and I'm like, this is like this big important
Don't
thing.
do
And
it.
it just went fucking...
Joel's biggest advice is to write everything down.
Yeah. Those tax time ones though, my most successful one was I got so distracted in it all by playing with the tools that I was like, I can't remember any of this script. And I just took a screenshot of it and put it up and said, hey, got distracted. It's me holding up the mini demo saw.
Yeah.
Bang, sale. Bang, sale. I'm like, yeah, righto.
So they can buy through your website.
No, they'll hit us up. They'll like, hey, who should we reach out to? And I'll send them a rep and be like, hey, and they'll always look
No,
after
because
me.
you might
I've got
not-
it.
You might, go.
Don't monetize too early.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Do
Big
not
time.
monetize too early. I make fucking nothing on Instagram compared to the time and effort it costs me,
Yeah, okay.
right? But I'm more interested in what it's going to do.
Relationships.
Like for my relationships and for
Yeah.
my overall reputation, right? And like I'm starting to think now, shit, maybe I can help the industry slightly. Like, you know, maybe.
You
I don't
already
know.
are though.
Yeah,
I didn't
I think
think
you
you.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
I think you both are because I feel that you kind of you're bringing passion back to an industry which potentially people are exiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think from what people see, like for every brand deal you might see that I do, there's 3 or 4 that I've said no to.
Yeah.
Like, and he'd be worse, way
Yeah.
worse.
I say that a lot. Yeah, I changed my mind on it this year.
I'm like, I've got the guys that I work with and that's kind of it. And even there's some other little ones that I've done. I'm like, nope, won't do that again.
And don't be afraid to say to someone too, like, hey, you want to send this stuff out? Great. Send it to me. I'm going to try it for a month. See if I like it. If I don't like it, you know, maybe look for someone else. It might not be best suited for me, but yeah, because then you start, people don't realize it's like, you say like, oh, buy those shorts, they're the best. People might save up for 3 months to buy them. And then with a week they're fucked. And they're like, then they look at you.
Well, one time I've been sent something. I've said yes to something, and they're like, "Yeah, great. This is what you've got to do." And I'm not even going to say what the thing is. I put it on and I started using it. I'm like, "This is shit." So it's been sitting in my drawer ever since.
I reckon I know
like,
what it is.
I know what it is.
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm not. This is shit. I'm not putting my name to this.
That was one of the ones I said no to.
Yeah, I'm not putting my name to this. So
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. And I've got different views on it, but which is where it's great for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely had mixed things.
Yeah. I just think I can't pretend.
Yes.
I can't. I'm shit at lying.
You're not an actor.
I'm not a very good actor. So
It
I
stands
just
out to the audience.
the reason why I pushed DeWalt is like I fucking love their stuff. Like it's
it's
mad.
easy when you. It's
Well, the same
easy,
that's
yeah.
with Pro
I love
Climber.
tools though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we haven't pushed anything like with sort of CR Kennedy was the same.
Yeah.
MEGT. Like
Yeah.
we kind of have not monetized.
You got to believe in the brands that you're aligned with.
It's
I've
not a
had car
one-year
companies
sponsor.
approach me and I'm like, nah, man, like.
BYD.
Well, no, it was actually KMG, like the SsangYong
Oh,
yeah.
right? And it looked cool and everything. I'm like, look, everyone
you.
knows there's one brand of ute that my guys drive.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
Toyota.
Yeah.
And outside of that, like, it's either Toyota or Chevrolet for me, man. I've been holding my whole life aside from that Toyota.
I could not take you seriously if I saw you driving around.
Nah,
I'm not
like,
saying
I
they're
feel
bad
like it would
cars,
kill
but
my
it's
brand.
not- Yeah,
Can
like-
if you do get an electric company, can you just take it up for me, for my sake?
An
Just like see you driving around in it.
Absolutely fucking not.
They're quick. You should take the Shark for a drive. It's quick.
No,
I would
just
love it
okay.
if Toyota are like, oh,
I
we've
do-
got
I
we've got
do-
an electric ute. Can you drive this one around?
I do miss my 79. Like every
they're the best.
Every morning I press the little red button in my Shark and it just goes.
How good
And
it's
that's
nice
it.
and quiet.
79's the opposite.
I used to turn it on. I'm going to digress a bit. I used to turn it on, close the door, and walk around and just listen to it.
Mate, I had an off its head 79, and I reckon I had my shoulder surgery because I drove the fucking thing. It completely cooked me, mate. It screwed my back, my shoulder, like you just driving like this, and
Yeah, but you know what? How fucking cool were you when you were driving
So
past the
cool.
one
That's cool.
and everyone's like this.
Oh yeah.
No one looks at my Shark when I drive past anymore. In fact, I drive past another Shark owner and I reckon we're like turning our heads. To acknowledge each other.
that's funny.
I mean, you spoke to each other the whole time at Pilates anyway. so
Yeah,
Both pulled down Pilates next to each other, like, fuck.
Pilates is
yes.
great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey,
guys, thank you for coming on.
Yeah. I like
pleasure.
that we had like zero agenda here and it was a good conversation.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
cool. It went around all over the place.
Yeah. What were you expecting?
I don't know.
And we don't even have camera footage. The camera kept turning on. Awesome, guys. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.